With today's episode, I had invited all the colleagues from NBTC China office to be with me to introduce the current situation during the epidemic period of the Chinese travel industry. So on my left, I would like to introduce Fiona Li, our travel trade manager.
Hello everyone.
And on my right, this is Mr. Jeffrey Wang, this is our MICE manager.
Hi, good afternoon.
And on my very right, that is Mr. Zhongren Wang, our PR and digital marketing manager.
Hello everyone.
Since the lockdown of the city of Wuhan, it had been already 3 months, and everything is trying or in the progress to be back to the normal, and with a lot of prevention measures are still in place, such as wearing face masks and showing the green health card when access to the public areas, and temperature taken is everywhere whenever you go to the public places. Although the domestic travel restrictions have been already lifted, and a lot of travel are still wait to be resumed. And at a glance, take a look at a glance of the past May holidays will give us some insights and idea on how the travel industry is progressing in the way to resume. And we have some figures to show to everybody. Overall, that is about 60% of last year, and throughout China, and including all kinds of methods to travel, including road travel, flights, trains, buses, everything. And then we also have some figures, the number of tourists received, that is including local and domestic, mainly local tourists. 1.15 billion visits have been conducted in the May holidays, and there have been 47.56 billion revenue for the May holidays, which is also quite encouraging number to a lot of tourist industry colleagues. The next figure that I would like to show to you is the holiday sales recovery, and we are also see a comparison index of the sales volume this year over 2019 in the same period. And the sales volume is quite impressive, and live streaming selling becomes one of the most popular way, and that is also with a very positive index of 126%, which means it's 26% over the same volume last year in the same period. And the under monitor with 100 scaled enterprises, the sales is already counted for 94% of the same volume of last year, which is also showing a very positive development, very positive recovery as well. And shopping centers, restaurants, relatively lower than the online shopping, because physically you have to go out, and probably that is also reflects something and the feelings of the consumers that we can talk about it later on with our colleagues. And then we also have some figures to show to you about the overall rolling growth in comparison with April and the May same period has recorded through UnionPay network 6.95%, and through WeChat payment that is over 30% growth in comparison with April in the same period, so which is also quite impressive. So the main figures are shown over here, and we see that a strong confidence for people to go out and to start planning some activities outdoor. Well, after the May holidays, we are still very in concern about our travel industry and the colleagues and which we have been working with for quite some times. What are they doing? Because the international travel is not yet allowed. So may I have a question to Fiona? What about the travel industry? What are they doing at this moment? And did you also hear some government policies towards supporting to the travel industry?
Yes, I think this topic is most our concern during this period. The Spring Festival of this year is an unforgettable moment for the tourism industry. Through the market information collection and insights from the government level, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism of China and his branch office have issued official notice since January 24th. All travel companies should suspend business of package tours as well as air tickets plus hotel tours. For those ongoing tour, they can complete the itinerary, but travel companies should pay attention on tourists' healthy condition closely. Also, all travel companies should deal with tourists and monks properly for refunding or itinerary adjustments. The Ministry of Culture and Tourism issued another notice to temporarily refund 80% travel service quality deposit guaranteed deposit to help them get through this period.
So actually that is injecting liquidity to them, to give money
to
back
help
to them.
Yes. And China's domestic tourism sector is starting to show a sign of recovery, with 30% famous science sports reopening on March 16th.
So this recovery already started from March 16th.
Yes, and local government in China issued free digital coupons. More than 30 regions have issued coupons, and more than 40% are related tourism industry.
Well, that's quite a number, because I receive the coupons every day after the payment.
Yeah. So from the China government make a quick decision when coronavirus broke out. The tourism industry strictly adheres to national policy. Some provide financial support from the government.
So they have been living at the beginning period of the epidemic on the government financial support,
Yes.
including various actions the government had taken. And after that period, and what are those companies are doing? Because they are still not able to do international business at this moment. So what are they doing in their daily 8 hours of working time?
Yes, from the company level, the travel trade has stopped the business, but some companies start to organize their staff back to work at home. Online training become trends from February, and popular tours are Ding Talk, WeChat Business, and Tencent meeting.
Yeah, I remember that you have conducted quite some sessions of trainings online.
Yeah, yes. And the destination can also share their products and updates easily instead of meeting in person. Yes. So
everything went digital at that moment.
Yes, cloud travel became the popular word.
Cloud travel.
Yes. And some large companies did market surveys such as Ctrip and Guangzhilü. They would like to track travelers' preference closely. From the market survey, we know that people have great willingness to travel after the coronavirus.
I think we also conducted a survey and at the beginning of the epidemic, and I think that was early February.
Yeah.
So in our survey, basically the same signal was shown.
Yes, and the safety comes the main concern among the customers, but paid holiday and promotion offer are also important for them. Yes. And the Chinese tourism companies insist on learning destination knowledge, but financial very difficult during this period. So they have to transform to selling another products. Some companies organized their own supplier and platform, but some company became the sales channel, such as Jingdong.com's sales channel.
To be the sales channel of the big platforms.
Yes, and many on-sale products are local products such as Australian Swarovski crystal, French cosmetics, Italian luxury goods, and some healthy care products.
Those are also the products the tourists will buy when they are traveling in Europe.
Yes, I think during this period, although the destination cannot welcome the tourists, its extended influence can be reflected in the part of the trade, such as some local products and souvenirs became the links, more business potential opportunities.
Great to hear that, which means that selling products by the colleagues from the travel agencies was taken as an action to survive. But eventually we find out that it's also a promotional tool, and the consumers can also learn about the destination through the things that they buy from the travel agencies.
Yes.
Wow, it's a quite amazing change. So I also would like to hear something from the MICE industry, and I have a couple of questions for the MICE, because that is in China, MICE meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, basically this is dominated by incentive travel, but they are different than the normal leisure trips as well. And what is the situation in this epidemic period for the MICE industry?
Well, it's also a hard time for everyone. Actually,
Yes,
if
for
we
everyone.
if we talk about MICE people, and they are actually we have to say MICE agents and MICE clients and consumers. And for the MICE agents, they actually most of them they actually back to the normal work since early March already.
Wow, quite early.
Yeah, it's quite early because they have to. For the MICE business, especially for the MICE planning, is a really long period planning.
It's a long planning cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
So what period are they planning at this moment?
They are planning for the 2021, 2022 already. I mean, 2021 is not the classic planning actually, because they back to the work in mid of March, because they have to reschedule or make a lot of cancellation and rebookings, and some of the clients they push their events or incentive groups to end of 2020, but now they found maybe it's not possible in 2020, so they have to repush it to 2021.
So basically their focus was to reschedule.
Yeah, reschedule, rebookings and cancellations, because for the first half of the year, it's obviously not possible to travel, so they have to busy work with the airline companies and hotels to make the rebookings.
They have to handle what had been delayed.
Yes, and also I think for the MICE agents, there's also demands like the normal travel agencies. They think it's a good moment to refresh their knowledge
Of the destination.
of the destinations. So I received quite a lot of requests to give them the online trainings during the peak weeks. I had 3-4 trainings to the MICE agencies.
So they are also using a lot of online.
Yes, people
tools.
stay at home, and they can log in. They can enter into the meeting room. I mean, the online meeting room to receive these presentations and the meetings and ask questions. I think this is also thanks to the modern technology. I would say.
Yeah, the technology is already there, and you just pick it up and use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I heard a lot of times you mentioned that they are rescheduling a lot of plans they already done for 2021 and 2022. Do you feel in whatever way, and the sector will continue growing bigger, or the sector being influenced by the epidemic the scale of the sector will get smaller? Or?
From my personal view, that of course, I mean, the first few months after the epidemic, I mean, the big business will definitely be shrink quite a lot. But also, I had some discussion with the customer, with the end consumers, with the companies, and they said, especially during this moment, because the Chinese incentive clients, they are mainly come from the direct sales companies. I mean, during the epidemic, and this is also a damage for this industry, but on the other hand, after the epidemic, they need to really hardly to push to motivate their sales.
So which means that incentive travel becomes even more important.
Exactly. And also, I will say, I mean, I think after the epidemic, it's also a good moment for us, for Netherlands, to promote our destination, because I don't know whether you are really looking to the world political relationships, between China, U.S., China, Australia, and we have quite a few conflicts.
So probably we can benefit from.
I'm sorry to say so, but
destination.
that's my personal point of view. Exactly. Yeah.
That's very good to hear. And do you think there will be some impact on the average spending in the incentive travel market?
This will say, for the companies, I think they may save a bit cost. I mean, maybe they stay in the luxury 5-star hotel. They will change it to the 5-star hotel in the first couple of years after epidemic. But I think for the tourists, for the group members, they will spend more. This is just eco. You can see the eco situation after the earthquake 2008 in Sichuan, and the tourists wants to just spend whatever the money they have. They change people a lot. Their view and their vision.
Which means that probably there will be more sectors benefit from this incentive trips. Oh, this is very good to hear. This is quite encouraging and quite optimistic for the future.
And also, you know, good news. Well, I would say this is at least good news that we are also pitching, or we will say building a large incentive group for about 2,000 people for 2022.
I heard about it.
We are Netherlands in the last round of circulation of the destination tourism.
So in order to win that, it is a very good job that you have done, and Holland is already in a short list. And what do you need more, for example, to make sure that Holland will be the final chosen destination? What do you think? What kind of tools or efforts can help?
I think for Holland, because after the epidemic, everybody tried to grab. Our competitors also try to grab as much as the clients. I'm sure people try to invest more fund to attract people to their country.
You mean subsidies?
Subsidies or some. I would say directly. I mean kickbacks.
Kickbacks.
Yeah.
Incentives.
Incentives. I mean, well, personally, I don't really support this idea, but I think it can be part of our recovery plan to attract people and to make the voice and to make the noise in the market that Netherlands is the one of their on their top choice list to choose of the destination.
Yeah,
so we really have to see what our competitors doing, because in terms of the visa, in terms of the destination, in terms of hotels, I think we are on the top. But our competitors also try.
So the services, facilities we can offer as a destination.
Exactly. We are on the same level, we even ahead of our competitors. Some of our competitors.
But we need some stimulus.
At least the first few years after the epidemic, because everybody trying to grab people.
I understand. We need to incentivize the incentive organizers. And to make sure that Holland will stand out among other competitive destinations. Well, it's good to hear. What is the best way, do you think, to reach out to either agencies or the companies who are really organizing those kind of?
I think the companies.
The companies. Go directly to the companies.
Go directly to the companies. They are the.
You need personal touch with them.
Exactly, they are the decision makers, and you know they know. They have a very clear picture who can offer what, which country can offer what. As much as we have some new offers, we have some new candies. We show to them, and I think this is a good sign to give them our. We really welcome to visit the country, the destination.
Yeah. And how big is the growth? And can you make some assumptions or some forecasts? For example, the group size, and the Chinese incentive groups is very famous of its scale, and sometimes it's over 1,500 people. Or in Holland we even received the China Perfect incentive group a couple of years ago with 4,500 people, and also another one. And with 3,500 people.
That's the hope.
So do you think there will be groups in that scale will have chance to attract those organizers in the coming years?
Yeah, there are actually two voices from the end consumer, and some people say that because of the worse sales, the group may getting smaller. But also a lot of my internal sources said to me that because they try to motivate the people, so they lower down the qualifications. So which means they can invite more people, more sales to join the group.
How about digitalization? Because Fiona mentioned that all the travel trade and they went digitalized. And they have utilized a lot of the digital tools and to reach their consumers and for the businesses whatever they are doing at this moment. How do you see that in the MICE industry? Do you see any?
Yeah, I mean the digital tools is really popular in China. Everybody using WeChat, Weibo, whatever the information they can get. And for us, I think we can work together. I can work together with the travel trade part or the media part to really establish those MICE informations, MICE news or the partners products online. And because we still need to keep distance with the people at the moment.
Yeah.
In the next few months. Yeah, in the next few months. So I think those information, if we put online, we can already push to those information to the end consumers or travel agencies. This is a good way to promote the destination. And a good example is last week. Since May. From May 1st to May 15th, already last 2 weeks, CTS, they asked a lot of information and pictures, videos from me, and they make a theme Dutch week on their WeChat official account to promote to their clients, to the end consumers. I think this is also a good way to promote.
Well, it's not only for us to communicate with our targets, the agencies or companies digitally, and also we need to facilitate the agencies to utilize digital communication tools to their clients as well.
Exactly.
Well, that becomes very important. So luckily that we have Chongren as our digital marketing specialist over here.
Sure.
And can you make some comments on
Yes.
starting from this topic?
As Fiona and Jeffrey said, the internet industry have a big improvement or development in China market, and as the epidemic outbreaking in China, and since everything transfer from offline to online, and also for the communication part, a lot of media also transfer from offline to online. I'd like to take an example for you. And in Hangzhou, it's the traditional printed newspapers called Hangzhou Night News. And when in the beginning of the epidemic outbreaking, the media just announced they suspend the printed newspaper and launched a new app for the news publishing and pushing. And they also can put the SMS message to all the customers who subscribe to their newspapers. I think it's a very good transforming for the traditional media and to the new media or the digital media. Yeah.
So they have done it very quickly. And
yes, very quick, reactive for the epidemic. Yeah, and it's not a very unique example. A lot of Chinese traditional media also transfer from the offline to the online.
I remember that the transformation from offline to online started a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Since did you see it was accelerating in the transformation during the epidemic period?
I think the epidemic just shortened the transformation of developing period. I think it's not an occasional case. It's just because epidemic damage the market, so the media need to survive. So they
so what do we do?
fasten that. Yeah.
So what did they do for making living to survive?
I must to say the media, a lot of media did like the trade partners or the travel agent. They do some live streaming project online. And,
live streaming projects.
Yes. They also prefer to sell some product through the live streaming room, and because they have a very good environment to select all the brand and product, they can.
Do they also sell tourism products?
No, of course not. And
so what kind of products do they sell?
Some like food and beverage and some lifestyle goodies. Yes, like some pillows.
But one thing they are doing the same as the travel industry is that they all do live streaming sales.
Yes. Because I think the media, in the past, the media also promote all the lifestyle and some product, and they have a lot of advertisement customers. Because they just change the format to help their customers to promote.
Okay, So they used to receive advertisement from their clients.
Yeah.
And now they are selling the products of their clients instead
Yes.
of doing direct
Because all the
advertisement.
clients still have the request for the media, and the media just change the format to help them.
Okay.
And in the academic period, a lot of offline events change to the online event, such as another example is the Oppo. It's a very famous mobile phone brand. They have a new product launching event through the live streaming, and they have a very big, too many distribution channels through online, more than 60. Yeah, I think it's a very good example to tell us or teach us. It's a very good learnings. Because in the past, the offline event only can invite more than maybe 100 attendees. But if we change to the online event, we can invite more than 100, like
Hundreds of
10,000, yes,
hundreds of thousands.
yes.
Yes, I remember that I was in one of the online seminars the other day, and eventually at the end of the seminar, it was about over 100,000 people viewing.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that we see that the transformation or change in the travel industry. If I may ask the last question to you all, that is, how do you think, or let's put it this way, that can you describe the current situation in one short sentence for travel industry? Or that is, do you think the travel industry is going to recover in the coming 2 months or 4 months?
We hope recovering soon, but maybe to the Europe destination, maybe should after winter.
After the
or
winter period.
next year.
Or next year. So the European destination will become the last sector
Yes.
to
Yes.
recover. Yeah. Did you see also something changes in the media industry aside in order to make a living and to do the to do the business in the traditional way, and they changed the way they approach their clients?
I think.
Do you think this will become the new norm, or they are going to be back to the?
No, I think the digitalization tools, digital tools is the new norm, and will become to a new trend, and all the media, or the even the media, or the consumer brand will more digitalization compared before.
Do you think the travel industry can make use of the media changes?
Of course, yes. I think although the epidemic is still there, but we have some new opportunity to keep the contact with the market and to reach out to our customers. The live streaming is a very good opportunity for us, I think.
Live streaming.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think live streaming will be also a good tool for incentive market?
Yes, of course, because people are now planning 2021, 2022, or even they are thinking about 2023. And at the moment, or at least until mid of the year, or until fall, people cannot traveling, and I personally or our partners cannot go visit the clients. To have this live streaming and to let people, like our clients, to meet our partners or learn the knowledge from the destination and product knowledge, which is really help them to make the decisions.
Well, definitely they have to know the destination before they can decide.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Fiona. Thank you very much, Jeffrey and
Thank you.
Songren,
Thank you.
for your contribution. And this is the end of the first episode. And definitely this series will continue in the rest of the year. And next episode, we're going to release the topic for next episode very soon. Please keep an eye on what we are doing. And later on, we also will provide some opportunities and for you to keep connected with us on a day-to-day basis. And as everybody mentions, digitalization is one of the things already in place instead of being pushed. And live streaming becomes one of the most popular tools that everybody is using. Not everybody is using, but also very effective, and have been proved by the practices both the travel trade and the media and the incentive planners have been trying to do. So based on that, conclusions and learnings in the market, and NBTC is also trying to start a live streaming project. We call it Talk to China. So we want to provide a platform for everybody who's watching this video or who are interested to stay connected with the Chinese consumers in this special period, to let them know through the live streaming and what you can offer, and you're welcoming them and whenever the epidemic period is over. So that's all for today, and looking forward to meeting everybody for next episode. Bye bye.